better quality and lower costs. You can capture the market with better quality and lower price. It'll help you to stay in business, provide jobs, more jobs. It's all very simple. One has to know how to produce quality, what quality is, what's the ultimate aim, and quality goes all the way through an organization. It can be no better than the top, no better than the intent of the top people.
That is Dr. Deming's single most important point. What needs to be done can be done only by top management. Professor Robert Reich, the Harvard economist who joined Dr. Deming and producer Claire Crawford Mason in this discussion, says that management too often thinks that reducing costs will solve the problem.
There are a lot of ways to reduce costs, but that is not going to enhance our standard of living, because our standard of living is based upon improving the quality of our work and our skills, our skill bases, the value of what we do.
The irony is that Dr. Deming's 14 points will, in fact, reduce cost, but that isn't the point. They will create jobs and provide better products and services for the consumer. Quality will go up, and so will our skills. Best of all, we can reverse the slide in our standard of living that has become noticeable.
Point number 5 is continual improvement of processes. Finding what's wrong is not improvement of the process. If there were a fire here in this building and somehow we put it out, that does not improve the building. That's not improvement. That's putting out fires. People, it's very important to understand the difference between putting out fires, plugging leaks, and improvement of processes. One company I asked, what do you do about these problems? Well, we run it down to the bitter end, and even if we have to go to Brazil to find what happened there, we find it out. It sounds great. That's a path toward destruction, because they're not studying the system. They're managing outcomes, managing defects, instead of looking at the system that produced the defects.
Point 5 sounds like point 3.
Well, yes, in a way it does. Each of Dr. Deming's 14 points is implicit in all the others. The way not to depend on mass inspection, point 3, is to continually improve the process, point 5. To do that, you'll need quality supplies, point 4. If finding a quality supplier takes time, well, remember point 1, constancy of purpose. And also, remember to adopt the new philosophy, which just happens to be point 2. No one of Dr. Deming's points stands alone, nor did he intend that one should. The 14 points are one philosophy, an original way of looking at business and industry or anything else. But for our purposes, the 14 points are the body of knowledge that management needs to cure America's economic problems. And they have to be learned, because no one is born with that kind of knowledge.
Point 6, training and retraining.
Point number 6 is training and retraining of management and of people. It's no good to tell somebody to do something when he does not understand why. You could not even, you could tell me to wash that table. I would not know what to do if you don't tell me why, what you're going to use it for. You're going to eat off of it, it's clean enough now. You're going to use it for some chemical purposes, not at all.
Dr. Deming's point is that not only must the workforce be trained to do the job, it must know what the job is and why it is being done. To put it another way, true leadership is not a matter of giving orders, but of giving explanations. Dr. Deming believes that the American workforce is the best in the world, the best educated, the most creative, but it must be led, not driven. Professor Rice says it's a matter of recognizing the worker's value.
Your most precious possession is not your financial assets. Your most precious possession is the people you have working there, what they carry around in their heads, and their ability to work together.
Dr. Deming says the best way to get workers to work together is to explain specifically what each person's job and responsibility is, then to divide the work into specific steps. Each person treats the next person along the line as the customer, who must be satisfied.
Everybody as a customer in any organization, be it a laundry, bank, newspaper, manufacturing, education, no matter what. to do my work, I need to know who's going to use it. Whom am I working for? In an organization, who's my customer? Why am I here? What am I doing? And the customer, the next stage, must work with the preceding stage. Somebody put it so well, an anonymous contribution in one of my seminars. This I can do for you. Here's what you could do for me. Isn't that nice?
When work is organized that way, it's easy to see that two basic beliefs of American management are simply wrong.
Blaming the worker, right?
In a way, the first belief is that if everyone did the job and worked hard, you'd get quality. But if the process is wrong, all the hard work in the world can't make quality.
Make sweat.
The second belief is that if workers would pay attention and not make mistakes, all our problems would be solved.
Won't work.
Well, when Dr. Deming is asked about that, he asked people how they think Continental Illinois Bank got into trouble.
You think that happened because of mistakes of tellers? Mistakes in calculating interest on penalties and loans? Do you think so? Does anybody think so? From operations? Nonsense. Those things are attributable to management.
In fact, Dr. Deming says only 6% of the problems in industry can be traced to the workers. 94% are caused either by management or by the system. And since only management can redesign the system, only management can be blamed if it's wrong.
Justice.
Well, it's not exactly fair. Just as the workforce has to be trained, so does management. Leadership has to be better.
Point number 7 is improvement of leadership, which we commonly call supervision. I think that it should be called leadership. Leading people to help them to do a better job, be it in management or on the factory floor. Supervision should be replaced by leadership. There's no secret, once again, about what leadership is. What leadership must do is to help people. Point 13 is self-improvement, program of self-improvement, education, improvement in other ways, helping people to live better, education in whatever one's fancy might take him into, history, music, archaeology, anything whatever. Keep people's minds developing. Education need not be connected with the work. Maybe better if it's not. Point number 6 is training and retraining for the job. Point number 13 is elevating people's minds. No organization can survive with just good people. They need people that are improving. And the problem is people at the top. In any profession, the good ones are hard to find. Help people to be good ones. But the education need not be connected with the work. Keep people's minds moving. Someone wrote a note to me in my seminar in London recently to say that Mr. Murphy was an optimist.